So, here I am again. It only took me like 5 months to get another toy into a videoable state. I never claimed to work fast. Now, this is the basically finished upgrade kit for Earthrise Arcee to convert her into something of an homage to the crossover Terminator comics design for Arcee by the great Alex Milne. I just knocked the camera twice. I have made no illusion that I think the original Earthrise Arcee is an incredibly... It's not bad, but it's it's lazy, in my opinion. It is an action figure stapled to a vehicle. And if you want the crux of my argument for why, here's her vehicle mode. She's not in it, but it is a finished vehicle. It's actually slightly cleaner without her in it. She deserves better than that. And so I came up with this. And I'm going to show you how it works. Now, if you take a quick look around, you'll see that from most angles, I'm pretty happy with how clean it is. It's a little messy around the legs and the back, but if you want it to transform, you just got to deal with that. You know, there's always going to be compromises. But overall, I think the look works quite well. Now, allow me to show you how it works. Now, she's a parts former and a transformer. I did what I could to work engineering into the add-on bits so that it's not just a fully parts-forming toy now. And the result is the upper body transforms and the lower body parts forms. There was just no way around it. I'd have had to make entirely new shins, and that would kind of defeat the point of the exercise, which was to show that even if you're going to have a kibble former, you can make a kibble former look okay and keep your fancy robot design. So, to begin the process, you remove these handy little swords, and you bin them, because they don't go anywhere, and that's that. Now, to begin with, we'll remove the parts that you remove. He's coming down here and removing the feet, like this. And then unsliding the front of the shin from this back piece, which it pegs into. It's stiff because I've tightened it recently. There we go. And then remove the peg on the back. And then you do the same on the other side. Just separate the parts and remove the peg piece. So go off to the side for now. So, what you're left with is a partially armoured Arcee, which, yeah, still doesn't look terrible, but is mid-transformation. So, to actually do some transformation, start by lifting the hood over her head, and then coming to the lower body and folding up the legs. Now, they have to just sort of tuck in quite precisely in here. If you see sort of something like this, with with that sort of heel detail just touching that set of ports there. You want to make sure that the lower joint on the knee is bent all the way back, but the upper joint is wherever it ends up. Do that on both sides. Then take the arms, fold them so that the hands are facing out like that, and do that on both sides. So now you have a slightly folded up Arcee that we're going to transform stuff around. Hood up, doors hinge back and just cover over the sides. And on the other side, door hinges back, covers over the sides. You'll need to jostle as it goes, but you know, this is what happens when you have to retrofit transformation. Then you take these shoulder bumpers and you slide them forwards on a pin. Slide it forwards on a pin. And bring it down and fold it to the side so that the notch sits in the door there. And on the same on the other side, you can see that, just to hold it all in place. Then bring your hood back up, peg it together like that, and then finally there's a channel in there, and you're going to bring the channel and you're going to position the parts right so that that channel fits over the front bumper, or that part of the front bumper, all slots together. And there you have some of a car with legs pointing out. Truly, my transformation genius knows no bounds. So, the feet have a little bit of transformation to them. You take your foot, you fold the peg into the wheel, you fold your wheel down, you fold the toe down. Do the same on the other side, peg down, wheel down, toe down. Then, you'll take the shin piece and the foot piece and find this corresponding slot and tab. They're not especially tight. These tolerances should be tighter on the versions you guys will be printing. As I say, I've made some modifications since printing mine, but just to tweak tolerances and add another peg or two. It'll be very obvious when you see it, but it was either that. I couldn't do another prototype. This is like version 5. I've printed enough of them. So, on your version, there will be a peg here to peg into the hands, which you'll want to line up, as well as lining up this roof peg at the top with the peg with the roof hole in the top with the peg in the shin. Line the two of those up, and then you just sort of have to jostle things into position. As I say, this is what happens when you sort of reverse in a transformation. It all will get somewhere solid enough, but just takes a little bit of effort. Now, you take the other side and do the same, and both of them being in the same place will help sort of solidify it a little bit. And while it'll need a little tussling, you then have this sort of Fox Body Mustang vehicle mode, which, frankly, I think accomplishes what I tried to set out. And it's a cute little vehicle mode. Arcee has an Earth mode. It's, you know, here it is. Here's the new vehicle mode compared to the old vehicle mode. Isn't it just incredible that we can have both at the same time? But yeah, so I hope you enjoy. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot a detail. Now, these have been modified in the final version so that you have longer pegs here. But the final element of this transformation is taking these pieces, using that central peg that you use to fix to the leg, and pegging these pieces to the inside of the wheels at the front. It's the only place I could find to store these parts. I couldn't make it cohesive in the legs. Unfortunately, due to a print error on mine, they do not peg in here, but you will want to peg them in here, and on your versions, the tabs will be longer and it should peg in securely. As I say, I wanted these files out. It'll all work for you. Do as I say, not as I do. But yeah, so that is Arcee. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how she looks, and I promise to have the next set of files released sometime within the next, 2 to 17 months. That seems achievable.